The sea does not care about a man's plans. Off the rocky coast of the Mediterranean, a wealthy merchant named Zeno of Citium watched his entire life sink beneath the dark water. He was a trader of purple dye, a rare and deeply valuable cargo. In a single violent storm, the wooden hull of his ship broke apart. Every ounce of his wealth, his status, and his future washed away in the cold tide. This was a personal catastrophe of the highest order. For a merchant in the ancient world, a shipwreck did not just mean a bad year. It meant total ruin. Zeno dragged himself onto the shore with nothing but the wet clothes on his back. The life he knew was over. The empire he built was gone. Most men would break under that weight. They would curse the sky, drink themselves into an early grave, or beg for scraps in the streets. Zeno faced the exact same crushing despair. He had to make a choice. He could let the storm destroy his mind just as it had destroyed his ship, or he could take a breath and walk forward. He chose to walk. The ruined merchant made his way to Athens, a city buzzing with trade and thought. He had no money and no ships to sell, but wandering through the market, he sat down at a small bookstall. He picked up a text about Socratic philosophy. As he read about the life and calm mind of Socrates, a spark caught fire in the dark. He asked the bookseller where he could find men like this. The bookseller pointed to a passing thinker. Zeno stood up and followed him. This simple act of walking after a teacher marked the true origin of a new way of life. The storm had taken his cargo, but it had forced him to find his mind. He realized the disaster was not a curse. It was a harsh, unyielding teacher. Later in life, he would even joke that fortune had done him a great favor by driving him into the study of philosophy. The loss of his purple dye taught him that true wealth cannot be held in a jar or carried on a boat. Years of study turned the former merchant into a master. Zeno began to teach his own students. They gathered on a public porch in Athens known as the Stoa Poikile. This painted porch gave its name to his teachings. The founding of Stoicism did not happen in a quiet, safe room. It was born from the wreckage of a broken life. He built his new school on a bedrock of harsh reality. The founder taught that the world is wild and unpredictable. You cannot control the weather, the markets, or the actions of other people. But you have absolute control over your own mind. You control how you judge the things that happen to you. This is not just an old story from Greece. It is a blueprint for the modern operator. Think of the builder who watches a company fold overnight. Think of the leader whose best plans are destroyed by a sudden crash. The shock is real. The pain is heavy. The echo of that tough choice on the beach follows us today. When the modern world strips away your title, your bank account, or your comfort, you are left with the exact same choice. You can drown in anger, or you can build an inner citadel. That fortress is made of virtue and reason. Stoicism demands that we stop tying our self-worth to things we can lose. If your identity is wrapped up in your job, a firing destroys you. If your pride is tied to a car, a crash ruins you. But if your core is built on wisdom, courage, justice, and discipline, no storm can touch you. This takes heavy practice. It is easy to be calm when the sea is flat. It is easy to be brave when the bank account is full. The true test comes when the hull cracks. When the pressure spikes, you must train yourself to pause. You must look at the disaster and say, "This is just a fact. It is not good or bad until I decide how to react to it." The wisdom from that hard time never faded. The man from Citium showed us that our worst days can be the start of our greatest growth. The obstacle in the path becomes the path. The shipwreck was the only way he could ever find the porch. We will all face our own storms. We will all lose things we thought we needed to survive. When that day comes, remember the merchant on the beach. Let the false wealth wash away. Stand up, shake off the cold water, and walk forward to claim the only thing you ever really owned, your own mind.